Hey guys, what's up? It's BigJackFilms here, and welcome to the monthly channel update. The reason I am doing this update this time is to address a few things that I do have to point out, especially after the release of the King Kong Reviews Season 3, which just finished airing last week. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing I should talk about is thank you all for watching Season 3 overall. It was a pretty good smash success, and I'm really happy that you guys enjoyed the results of me talking about the lost films and the lost projects that never came to fruition in the history of King Kong. Now, one of the things a lot of people ask me is where I got a lot of my info from. Well, a lot of the information I gathered came from articles that were printed at the time, film documentaries, and of course, books, guys. Remember, you can always find information by reading a book. These are some of the Kong books I own, and these have excruciating amount of detail where you can totally find anything related to Kong. I prefer this one, King Kong, The History of the Movie Icon. It's by Ray Morton. It's got a lot of information about the Kongs that never were, and it's a great source for any Kong historian, basically, who wants to know about this kind of stuff. Now, the next question you're probably asking is when the next 2 episodes are going to come out, especially for the review of Kong Skull Island. Well, I just released my opening night of Kong Skull Island, which are basically my first thoughts on the movie, but I am planning to do a full King Kong review-esque episode that basically talks about my overall personal opinion, especially since I'm going to be seeing it a couple more times before I give my overall results. So that will be coming out in May, and then my review of Skull Island Reign of Kong, the new ride at Universal Orlando, will be airing at the end of April, so you guys can definitely look forward to that. Now, one thing I do have to point out is there's 2 people I have to thank for this run of the King Kong reviews, whether it be for interesting details on some of the articles or of certain effect shots that I needed for this production. The first thank you shout out I have to give is to Erich Kessler. If you guys don't know who he is, he's been working on this stop-motion King Kong prequel called Skull Island, which is incredibly well done and is far beyond anything I can do, and I would highly recommend supporting his channel and supporting his work. He is an absolutely amazing talent. And I know a lot of people ask me where I got a lot of the stop-motion footage of Kong. Well, that was the resource I got it from. So definitely go ahead, subscribe to his channel, and please support his work. I think he'd really appreciate it. And then the other person I had to thank not only for information on all these lost films, but also a big thanks in the terms of editing a lot easier, is a guy named Matthew Lamont. He is one of the biggest King Kong fans that I know, and he has a documentary out called Hail to the King, A King Named Kong. You can find links to the documentary on his YouTube channel, but he worked absolutely hard on it. It came out in 2013 for the 80th anniversary of the original film. It's definitely worth checking out. It goes through a lot of details and info as much as my reviews do, so definitely check him out and support his talent. And then finally, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, what are your thoughts on James Rolfe's Cinemassacre's Kong-a-thon? Well, interesting story about that, guys. I had originally planned to release the entirety of Season 3 throughout the month of March, but the day before the first episode aired, my friend sent me James's Twitter saying he was doing Kong-a-thon, and I'm like, oh no! Because it turns out he was also doing a King Kong-a-thon at the same time mine was, and nothing against James. I think he is an absolutely amazing talent, and I'm a huge fan of his work. Hell, he's one of the inspirations for me getting on YouTube. I've actually met him a couple of times. I met him once at Con Bravo and once at Fan World last year, and he was absolutely great. In fact, a little secret, he actually did a cameo in my remake of King Kong, so if you guys go back, you may hear his voice in some area of the film. But while I was a little spooked of him releasing some of his work, I was actually looking forward to what he had in store in terms of his take on all the King Kong movies, and I was overall not disappointed. I thought his work was incredibly well done. But yes, in case you're wondering, there's no rivalry going on. James is an incredibly great talent, and I tip my hat off to him. He did an amazing job with his Kong-a-thon, and it's just kind of ironic because Skull Island is out and everybody's doing their version of the King Kong reviews. Oh, and one other thing I did forget to point out is that there might be a few more episodes coming later on in the year. I'm not sure when I'm going to get around to them, but I've had a few requests to do a few other movies and little spoofs and everything, so I may get a chance to review those sometime down the road this year. But yeah, this is just a little update to let you guys know what's happening for the rest of the season, and a few thank yous and shoutouts to those who helped me in this run of reviews. But yeah, so for now, guys, I gotta get back to editing a few more videos, so for now, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. This is BigJackFilms, signing off.